While Madden 18 will introduce many new features like long shot, game styles, coaching adjustments, and target passing, they've also addressed some of the Madden community's most requested tweaks to the game. So let's go over what we will see improved upon come August 25th. Let's get it.
Sports Gamers Online is the #1 source for the sports gamer.
First off is more off-ball injuries. While playing simulation, players not immediately involved in a tackle can get hurt now, and this includes offensive and defensive linemen. So gone are the days of those position groups playing 16 games a season. When they get hurt, you won't see the little injury cutscene like how a player who was involved in a play would have. You'll just get an injury notification afterwards. And like I said, I'm glad the guys on both lines can get hurt now, and I can already see somebody throwing their controller at the TV because Julio Jones got hurt 20 yards away from the ball. Next is improved ball hawk skill mechanics. We'll no longer be able to hold the catch button throughout the entire play hunting for interceptions, which I'll admit I've been pretty guilty of this only because it worked. But playing Madden 18 at EA Play in E3, it is indeed fixed. It's now a timing based skill, so if you hold the button too long, the defender's chances of catching the ball is greatly reduced. Quarterback can also fake out user defenders who are holding the ball hawk with the pump fake. But what I always wondered was if somebody held the button too early, it will force them to jump in the air. So let's say I'm running a slant and the user defender spots it, but I see him. If I wait an extra second longer, he will jump in the air and I could just throw it behind him. Hit sticks have been moved back to being only with the right stick, and now I'm sad. Once I learned you could hit stick with the X square button, life seemed easier. I actually didn't realize they removed the button hit stick when playing though. It's funny. They say it's now based on timing and facing angle, but I'll believe it when I see it. They also bring back the ability to hit stick high and low, which I was a fan of before. Ball carrier special moves have all been updated. They will be much faster and more efficient with reduced chances of fumbling when you try one. And the ability to shake a user-controlled defender works just as often as you're doing it against a CPU defender now. And one of the top complaints in competitive Madden has been defenders dropping wide open interceptions. With the competitive game style, if your defender has a good catch rating and is considered open, his chances of catching will greatly increase. But keep in mind, catch rating still matters, so 50 catch dudes will still drop their fair share of balls. Catching traffic can also still result in drop picks. I've been a fan of for competitive Madden to let the defenders have a 100% catch rate on wide open picks, but I may be in a minority on that one. They've also fixed the swerve that lets dudes basically move defenders out of position to play the ball, so now defenders will go for the ball instead of being glued to the receiver. I remember this being a problem in PC Madden. Yeah, I used to play PC way back in 2008. It's funny that it still is happening, but I'm glad or hope that it's truly fixed. Another top community request was curl flat zones. In 17, curl flats would crash to the flats and leave deep routes open down the sidelines, so they added a new rule called no cover zone. So now underneath defenders won't jump the baby routes, leaving big plays wide open. And fumble recoveries have been fixed, so you won't see players miss the ball repeatedly like it was covered in butter. Somebody will grab it a lot faster when it's on the ground now. And gone is the 50 rated middle linebacker. This was the main thing I noticed that EA Play and would take some getting used to. They've altered how defenders run now, so they turn more on a curve, and the rate at which defenders turn has been altered. So only the truly beast middle linebackers can still make the plays we've been used to for years. I mean, I was using Bobby Wagner and felt so slow because of the new movements in the game. But like I said, it's only because I've been used to cutting on a dime with linebackers forever. Rack catch drops have been tuned, and expect less drop passes due to your receiver simply running into an incoming defender, even though he already secured the ball. Hard flat defenders will play the flats, well, harder, which is great because multiple times this man, I know this dude is about to throw to the flats, so I changed to a hard flat, and what does he do? He plays them as close as possible, still lets him catch the ball. Jump it, man! And on competitive play only, AI defenders will always go for the interception, which is huge. At least 2 or 3 times a game, our opponent will throw straight at the CPU, and they're like, nah, I don't want this, swat. Also, we'll now be able to direct our rack catch. So no more going out of bounds toward the sidelines. So when you activate a rack catch, all you have to do is aim the left stick in the direction you want to run once you catch it, and you're good. And we've heard this basically every Madden, but size and weight will factor into hit sticks and impact blocks, and the momentum of the players involved in the interaction. So far few 180, 190 pound defenders hit sticking big dudes, or wide receivers laying out linebackers on blocks. They will need some serious momentum to have a chance. Offline Play Now games will now use playoff OT rules rather than regular season OT rules. And lower rated QBs won't be as accurate. Now I'm skeptical on this one. What man was it where they actually had this? Was it 15? Where bums would throw crazy passes all over the place. But they ended up patching it, and once again Joe Webb was throwing dimes like Aaron Rodgers. Will they cave to the people who will complain of all the off-target passes? We'll see. And now this is another good one. When you're in practice mode and on defense, you now won't have to play with two controllers to practice your blitzes. If the AI notices you are adjusting your defense, they won't snap the ball, which is amazing. Slower players won't catch faster ones on breakaway runs anymore. I don't know why they put that in the game in the first place. I should not have a breakaway run with Ryan Matthews, and his mid-80s safety is catching me. And lastly is position-specific defensive hot routes. And to avoid confusion, if you sub, say, Tyrann Mathieu to a cornerback spot, we'll get the cornerback's hot routes. It's basically you get the hot routes at the spot you're at, not the position you play. And here they are, so you can pause the video to check them out. Sorry, sports gamers, what do you guys think of the improvements they have made for Madden 18? Leave it in the comments down below. And is there still something you were hoping to see improved? Let us know. And stay tuned for more Madden 18 news here at Sports Gamers Online. So subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss anything we put out. I'm Chris. Thank you all for watching and be good, y'all.